Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. Shaker Launch House is a pre-seed investment fund and business accelerator, as it's called. Its founders, Todd Goldstein and Dar Caldwell, are here to talk more about this organization and their goal for the future. Then we will hear from the CEO of Newbridge Cleveland Center for Arts and Technology, Jeffrey Johnson. He'll explain how his organization is helping adults and teenagers prepare for well-paying careers. And later in the broadcast after that, martial arts expert Freddie Thompson will talk about the Rape and Crime Prevention Center he founded to help area residents protect themselves. Good morning. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb, and good to have you with us, and so we begin. Beginning right now with two men who are in the Shaker Heights area, and they've got something called Launch House. We've got Todd Goldstein sitting on the outside and Dar Caldwell sitting next to me. They're founders and managing partners of Shaker Launch House. Good to have you with us, gentlemen.
Thanks, Leon. Thank you.
We'll start right with you, Dar Caldwell. What is Shaker Launch House?
So Shaker Launch House, as you said, is a business accelerator, and basically what that means is we're just trying to create Cleveland into an environment that's very hospitable and a good place for an entrepreneur to start a company.
What's that mean now? You help businesses get started?
Yep, so usually people are walking into our door with an idea or a problem that they want to solve, and it's our job to turn that idea quickly and inexpensively into an actual company. So we're investing money into them usually. We'll provide them with business services like legal and patent and accounting, a lot of education and mentorship, and turn that idea into an actual company.
Todd Goldstein, rather, tell me about it. How big an area do you serve there at Shaker Launch House?
So currently we focus on entrepreneurs from all over northeastern Ohio, and over the next 12 months we'll be expanding outside the region to bring up-and-coming entrepreneurs to Cleveland and to Shaker Heights.
So you're looking at the entire area?
That's correct, because really our model is to kind of revitalize and bring back entrepreneurs and young people to northeastern Ohio and create an innovative community.
You're located in Shaker Heights now?
That's correct. We're located on Chagrin and Lee, the old Zale's old car dealership.
So we've had a history of taking over abandoned, dilapidated buildings and just filling them up with young entrepreneurs and lots of energy.
Yeah, what was your inspiration, Dar, to do this?
Well, we had watched pretty much most of our peers, a lot of our friends in our generation just leave town, head to Silicon Valley, or places that they thought had a better place for them to start a career. But we didn't want to leave. We love it here. So we wanted to create an actual environment and something that would keep those best change makers, those entrepreneurs, the ones that are starting companies, keep them here.
Todd, give me an idea of what you would do to help a company launch. I assume you're using the phrase the Shaker Launch House. Yep. I'm assuming you're talking about launching businesses as a boat launch or as a launch pad for NASA rockets, that kind of thing. That's the What do you tell companies? How do you help them?
That's correct. Typically an entrepreneur will apply on our website at launchhouse.com, and if it meets our criteria, which is typically a software company, disruptive technology, or medical devices, ideally someone will come to us with an idea that can get to market within about 90 days, and we then provide up between $10,000 and $20,000 in capital to help them get their business started. We'll provide legal support, which actually helps them set up their company and file for protection with the patent office, and then we support them by providing mentorship and educational resources, really to teach them how to be entrepreneurs and eliminate most of the obstacles that entrepreneurs face.
How has it gone for you over the last, how long you been around now?
Since 2008.
How has it gone over the last 3 years?
We've seen a lot of growth. Today we actually have 16 companies in our portfolio, and we'll be at 25 by the end of the year.
We're going to continue our conversation with these two gentlemen. Let me put a phone number on the screen where you can get more information. Their phone number at Shaker Launch House is at 216-255-3070, as you see at the bottom of the screen, or you can go to launchhouse.com, and you can get more information on everything. They're located right near the intersection of Chagrin Road and Lee Road, really right opposite the Sunoco gas station at Lomond there.
You got it.
Yeah,
yep.
The old Zalid Oldsmobile Pontiac showroom. What do you want people to do? How can you help a company, Dar, when they come in, a fledgling company just getting started?
What I think is very important to realize for most people here in the community is that it doesn't take very much at that very early stage when an idea is trying to turn into an actual company. It doesn't take much money. It doesn't take too much time. It takes a little bit of common sense and the really support of the community, and that comes in mentorship and just really helping out and guiding some of these, kind of fragile young fledgling institutions. So it's all about putting in a little bit of care, attention, and kind of what those needs are when it's always the riskiest early stage.
You actually have a mentoring program where you guide companies along, right?
Yeah, so we've got tremendous support from around the community of businessmen and women across lots of different industries, and they're doing everything from helping to put on educational workshops or really sinking in with an actual company and helping them out. If nothing else, they're available for a phone call, for a coffee session or something like that, just to give a little bit of common sense.
Todd, I was there the day it was announced that the Shaker Launch House was going to be built. I think, and if memory serves me correct, the mayor of Shaker Heights was there and others were there. How has the city helped you in this regard? The city of Shaker Heights.
The city has been very supportive of us. When we came to the city of Shaker, and they more or less came to us, they were sitting on an abandoned car dealership, and they were between knocking it down or finding a developer to redevelop it. And we came to them and we said, why not take a city that was not known for commercial or business and kind of change the way people look at Shaker Heights.
Right.
And in exchange, they agreed to revitalize that building, and in return, we agreed to move all of our companies into the space, and we got a 5-year lease with the city of Shaker, 4 years, which is tax and rent free. In addition, they have what's called as a community improvement corporation, and that acts as a 501(c) for Launch House, so we can actually go out and raise nonprofit dollars to help offset the cost to do educational events and other nonprofit-oriented events and programming that we do.
Dar, you help companies throughout the area, right? Not just in Shaker Heights.
Oh, definitely. Our physical location is there in Shaker Heights, but I think the worst thing that we can do in this region is set up silos, so we're only addressing somebody that's from Shaker Heights. So we're really trying to spread the resources, the network, and this community across the whole city.
So the goal is have companies, if you're a fledgling company trying to get started, you need a foot up, you need a little help, little guidance, contact Shaker Launch House.
That is correct. I would also say that we do not restrict companies. So if a company comes to us and they can become very successful, and ultimately it's better for them to be in Youngstown or Beechwood or downtown, we encourage that. We don't restrict companies. We want them to grow and be successful and create jobs in northeastern Ohio.
Well, we wish you both well. You've been around for 3 years, and keep on going. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Todd Goldstein and Dar Caldwell, both founders and managing partners of Shaker Launch House, which is located on Lee Road, right near Chagrin, near the Chagrin-Lee intersection in Shaker Heights. 255-3070 or launchhouse.com. You can get more information. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you on the broadcast. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. We're going to take a break right now, but we promise to return. Really, I do. In a moment. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. Newbridge Cleveland Center for Arts and Technology prepares individuals for well-paid jobs. Its CEO, Jeffrey Johnson, is here to talk about the center's curriculum, its success rate, and the support that he's received from the local community. Good to have you with us, Jeffrey Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. What's the mission? What is Newbridge Cleveland Center for Arts and Technology?
Well, Newbridge Cleveland is a new program. It's really designed to go after two of our greatest challenges. One is the growing high school graduation dropout rate for our youth, as well as jobs for adults. And Newbridge is designed to go after those two issues that are facing us.
Yeah, how do you go after those issues?
Well, we provide, first and foremost, we provide an opportunity for our youth in after-school programming through the arts. We use the arts as a means to keeping our kids in school, pushing them toward graduation and inspiring them. And for the adult side of it, what we do is work from the market back. We identify those jobs that are here and now that are growing, work with those sectors, and then train our adults for those jobs that are here now.
I'm intrigued by both parts of this. Let's talk a little bit about the youth side. How do you use the arts to inspire the kids and deal with the growing dropout rate that we're faced with all over this country?
One of the things we know is the arts open up a hemisphere, a part of the brain that allows for creativity and inspires our youth. So what we've done is design programming in music mixing and recording, programming in ceramics, programming also in digital arts and Photoshop, and photography. And what that does is it inspires the kids to not only for a lifelong loving of learning, but also to keep them in school. And so we use that as one means of making that happen.
You're located at 3634 Euclid Avenue, right in the Midtown corridor area, right at East 36, right around East 36 and Euclid Avenue, across from the Red Cross. You and I were chatting about that. I'm going to put a phone number on the screen in just a moment. But tell me about how you deal with the adults now.
Yeah, now from the adults, we take a market-back approach. And that way we focus on the sectors that are growing in the communities in which we're in, as well as those that are driving that growth, and then tailor the training for those adults. So we mix a matrix of adults, of the corporate knowledge, skills, and abilities, and training for the adults for those jobs.
What's growing in Greater Cleveland? What are we looking at? What
Obviously,
should people be preparing for jobs into the future?
Today, as you know, a bedrock of this community is healthcare for us. It's a very big area for us. And what we found is within healthcare, there are phlebotomists, who are those who are not only drawing blood but collecting specimens and doing the lab work. And there's also pharmacy technicians who are helping and assisting our pharmacy both in retail and institutional side. So those are two of the high growth areas where we can get people focused on opportunities for jobs there.
I'm going to put a phone number on the screen, 867-9775 in the 216 area code. You see it at the bottom of the screen, or you can go to newbridgecleveland.org, newbridgecleveland.org, get more information on everything we were talking about. How do you get your money? How do you keep doing this? Where is your funding coming?
Yeah, well, we've been very fortunate to have tremendous community support. The Cleveland Foundation, again, to help us with seed funding to get this launched and going was tremendous help there. But we've seen broader support as well from other corporate entities as well as the community themselves and individuals. It's been tremendously successful, but we need to continue to obviously raise funds to keep something like this going. I won't fail to mention that the fact this program is totally free. It's no cost to the adults, no cost to the students, which removes a tremendous barrier when we're talking about this constituency.
So what must young people do, and people who are not so young,
right,
and not the teenagers that they once were, what must they do to link up with Newbridge Cleveland Center for Arts and Technology to prepare themselves for the future?
It's really simple. I mean, Leon, we said, look, let's remove the barriers. You call, you click, or you stop by. If you call, obviously, you put the phone number. Thank you so much for that. But also our website. There's a tremendous amount of information there at newbridgecleveland.org. And then located right here in Midtown at 3634 is an opportunity to come by. Take a look at the facility, because one of the key principles associated with what we do is change the environment, change the assumption, and we believe that people are capable of extraordinary achievement. We have done that in a facility that's not only light, bright, but it's also inspiring.
Give me an idea of the curriculum, of what the kind of courses that you teach, and how you get folks from over here to where they want to be over here.
Yeah, well, it's a great question. The curriculum really focuses on 38 weeks for pharmacy tech. So if you think about it, that's a very short time to go from where you are sitting. We have some students who have gone from daytime, being home during the daytime, unemployed, underemployed, underskilled, and in 38 weeks, they can be a pharmacy technician. In 20 weeks, they can be a phlebotomy technician, and then be positioned for gainful employment that change their lives, the lives of their family, and ultimately impact the community. So when we talk about the curriculum, the third element of the curriculum, which is really important, is embedding soft skills. For you and I, it's really important. Understand how to come to work on time, how to work in groups, teamwork, dynamics, group dynamics. Those are things that we embed into
how to dress appropriately for the job.
Absolutely, and be effective and drive value to the end users. I mean, that's what corporations and others are looking for. They're looking for students and looking for employees who can drive value, and that's what we prepare them to do.
And this is all free to the student.
And it's absolutely free to the students.
Well, people can find you at 3634 Euclid Avenue. It's right across the street from the Greater Cleveland Red Cross, 3634 Euclid Avenue. Or you can telephone 216-867-9775 or go to newbridgecleveland.org. Jeffrey Johnson is the Executive Director of the Newbridge Cleveland Center for Arts and Technology. We thank you for what you're doing, and certainly you are saving lives and helping save this town.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We'll have you back, too, to tell us how it's going.
Thank you. Well, I look forward to doing that.
You've been doing this for a few years now.
Oh, yeah. We've been starting, this program started in November, but we've been at it in terms of planning. Yeah. Been very successful.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Good to have you with us. Jeffrey Johnson, Executive Director of Newbridge Cleveland Center for the Arts and Technology. This is Kaleidoscope. We'll hear from the Urban League's James Myers in just a moment. I'm Leon Bibb, but I've got to take this break. Back shortly. Good to have you with us for Kaleidoscope again today. James Myers is with us, and he is the co-board chair of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. He'll give us an update of what's happening at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Good to have you with us, James.
Thank you, Leon. Good to be here.
Tell me about how are things going at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland?
Things are going very well at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. As you know, we've redone our board at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. We've just elected our president, who was the interim president, Marsha Maccabee. We have the board co-chair of Pat Ramsey with the U.S. Bank and myself on the board. So things are going very well.
What do you like about working on the board of the Urban League? Well, why do you do it?
I work on the board of the Urban League because, for one, I like working in the community. I like to get involved with the community. I like to meet people in the community and work with community and work with the youth in the community as well. Urban League does a lot of different things in the community with the youth. And my corporation, the company that I work for also, UPS, is a proud sponsor of the Urban League nationally. And in the different affiliates that we work into, we're involved as well. I'm in a program called the BEAT program, which is the Black Executive Exchange Program. I've participated in that the past 5 years, and that's just a program where we go to different colleges and universities and do mentorship and teach classes at those universities.
The Urban League has been around for, well, about 100 years now.
101 years.
101 years?
101 years.
And in Cleveland, just a little bit under that. You're
Absolutely.
90-something years here in Cleveland. The mission has remained steadfast, pretty much the same?
Absolutely. The mission has remained steadfast. It's equal. We're just looking for a level playing field for everyone. That's all we're looking for. And the Urban League was started in the urban areas of different cities because at the time when it started, there were no jobs in those areas. And we just came in to level the playing field and to help those urban areas get jobs.
You've been involved in the Urban League has been involved in the civil rights struggle over the years.
Absolutely.
And involved in the economic rights struggle. Marsha Maccabee sits in this chair often and talks about the need of, president of the Urban League, talks about the need for economic parity and for raising as many people as we can to a higher economic status in America.
Absolutely.
Yeah, speak to that a bit.
Absolutely. And that is very true. I mean, we work with people not only in the urban communities, but from all communities, from all aspects of life. And we're here not to help those that, I wouldn't say that are less fortunate, but those that are just not as able at this time. And we're here as a stepping stone to help them, whether it be through education, through job creation, and through working with the youth and getting them ready for college and to take on things.
You try to inspire people, especially young people, to reach higher, if I can reach like that dramatically, to reach higher. How do you do that?
The way to do that is what I like to do is redefine their images of success. And when I talk about that through education. Through going and letting them know that when you're in college, you have to work and act like the job that you want to have. Alrighty? A lot of times when we go to the colleges and universities, the things that they always want to talk about is just pay. How much money do you make? What do you do? What do you drive? And it's a little bit more than that. A lot of times now our youth want it now, and I explain to them you have to work hard for it, and it's not going to come easy. A lot of the images that you see on TV are not true. And a lot of times those people on TV have worked harder than you think they have to achieve the goals that they have. So a lot of times it's hard work, diligence, and education, and stick with it.
And you try to tell them, I would imagine, to find something that you love doing and work in that field of endeavor.
Absolutely. Something that you love doing, that you'll enjoy doing it, and that you have a passion for.
I can tell you I've always had a passion for what I do. My very first job many years ago, coming out of college, I didn't even know what the job paid. They offered me the job, and as I was walking out, I said, by the way, what's it pay? And they told me, and they said, is that okay? I said, yeah, that's fine. It was my first job. Any job is fine, but it was
Absolutely.
good. It was good. We're going to continue talking with James Myers. He's co-board chairman of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm going to take a break, but we promise to return. We continue our conversation now with the Urban League's co-board chairman of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, James Myers. James, I know one of the things you wanted to talk about was the national convention you attended.
Yes, weekending July 30th, July 27th through the 30th. Urban leaguers from all over the country, over 3,000 urban leaguers, convened for a national convention in Boston, Massachusetts. And I'd like to say that our Cleveland affiliate was well represented. Marshall Mockabee, our president, our board co-chair, Pat Ramsey, and myself were there all week. And the message that came out of this meeting is the need for job creation. Mark made it very clear that there's an urgent need for economic recovery and job creation. And how do we do that? Through education. As you know, when we have the Urban League National Convention, he always brings a lot of the best and brightest minds together. Our Thursday session opened with Dr. Henry Louis Gates, who's a Harvard professor, and Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. They had a session, and they talked about their philanthropic efforts and education and the need for it. Bill Gates, dynamic speaker, if you ever get to see him or meet him, talked about his philanthropic endeavors and spending over $2 billion in education to scholarships through universities across the country.
Got about a minute remaining. Did you get the impression that although we've got to get ready educationally wise, the people looking for jobs, but that the employers out there are going to start hiring?
Absolutely.
Did you get the feeling that employers are going to begin hiring?
Yeah, there were numerous different corporate sponsors there, and a lot of them talked about their efforts to help and need and support the country and that need to hire as well. But one of the main things that I was really impressed with was the number of youth that were there. There was a number of youth there, and they had different speakers and education and summits, and like I said, they had different summits, and they talked about defining their images of success. Be the success that you want to see. So I like what they did with all the youth, and the youth were very excited and energetic, and it felt real good to see that in our youth.
In other words, if you can dream it, you can make it happen.
Absolutely. But I'd be remiss. Our affiliate here in Cleveland, our president, Marshall Mockabee, received the Newcomer CEO Award for her work that she's done in her first year here in our Cleveland affiliate. So
congratulations.
We're always proud of that.
That's going to do it for us. Thank you, James.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.